Hello Reds, welcome along to All for United.
Hello, Reds from around the world. Welcome to All for United. You have an awful mic, so I'm muting you like a motherfucker. Welcome, everyone, to All for United. This is the final show of the Joe O'Neill experience on All for United. So thank you much for joining us. It's going to be great crack. Well, I don't know if it's going to be great crack. I can only just hope it's going to be great crack. But it's going to get more crack no matter whatever it is. Because I'm drinking. Ben's on vodka. Hamid's on tequila. Stu's on something pretentious. T and Andy are on vodka as well. And Ahmed's drinking orange juice from a yogurt carton. So, look, we're all on different levels of excitement here. But like I said, wherever you are watching... oh, fucking Kai! Shit!
Where is it? Oh,
Kai, okay, before you come in, Kai.
Oh, my God.
Kai, okay, all right. All right, I can do whatever the fuck I want, all right?
I'll tell you what,
Kai.
amateur, mate.
Kai, we're all having a drink tonight, so go get yourself a drink and then I'll let you in, okay? And show me the drink when backstage and then you can come in, okay? I'm going to give you 14 seconds, okay?
Panathinaikos shirt.
Okay, all right.
This is getting disrespectful now.
For the 5 millionth time, okay? This is Ireland's finest jersey from their finest ever time, okay? See that? You bunch of bastards. All right?
Ireland?
Yeah. You can't
I didn't put the readers on.
Oh, Kai's gone. Kai, you're more than welcome now. What have you got there for us, brother?
Something
that drink?
Real men drink pink drinks, so I'm drinking a pink drink.
That's no problem. A lot of men are drinking straight vodka here, so it's going to be hard for you to catch up with them.
I don't drink anymore, Joe. So this is actually the wifey's Kool-Aid.
You're married.
Well, I'll be married in September, but
someone is choosing to marry you.
Congratulations, pal.
Commiserations.
Oh, for God's sake. Basically, Joe is going to be the bane of our lives tonight. It's his last show.
Yeah, I'm going to wreck every single fucking one of you. I can do. There's no holding back on me now. You know, every time I was being polite and nice to you before, that's because I had to. That's because I had to. And it's gone. It's gone. It's going to be all bullying all the time. And we got a lot. Oh, I'm not going to cry. I'm going to make you cry. That's my goal. We got Jacob in the comments already. All right, guys, who'll be an interesting show will be Connor with 2 N's. Even all, hope you're well. Slaphead. Some Egypt named Stu. Evening, lads. Some other Egypt named Stuart. What's the crack, guys? And Baldy, what's it going? Well, how's it going? Sorry, how's it going? Thanks so much for joining us, guys. We're gonna have a laugh here tonight. We're probably gonna talk about Man United at some point. But whenever you're watching, even John came out as well. All the gang are getting back together. It's great. So we're going to be chatting about football, chatting about whatever. Get your thoughts in the comments. Also, I hope you're all drinking. If you are drinking, post under. I put a photo of me on the All for United Twitter page. Post under that with whatever you're drinking, and let us know. And we'll all have a laugh tonight. But what our topic is, what we have learned this. I presume there's more to that. I just can't see it on the stream yet. What we have learned this. So Ben, I'll come to you first. What have we learned this? I don't know if this is all to do with me. So what have you learned about me? What have you learned about me that other people mightn't know so far? A little tidbit, and then you can talk about United if you want.
What have I learned about you?
I presume that what's Ben.
That you like to take your Tinder dates on bus rides and sing words of the bus go round and round. That's a true story.
No, the only reason I sing that one is because I don't have to have the licenses to do that. You know, you don't have to. Like I think ahead. Okay, I think ahead. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, you can talk about United now if you want. Well, what have we learned this season?
Was it? I think I posted on the in the comment section on the match reaction show that it's been a solid 7 out of 10 for me this season. Maybe 7.5 if we go and win the Europa League. I think there's still much room for improvement, much what we can learn upon and take from this season as a learning curve. But to be fair, though, we've done better than last season. You know, I think it was 8 points. We're 8 points better off than we finished last season, which is a sign of progression. People may argue that it's not, but it's a little sign of progression there. You know, in terms of the points total. Listen, you know, I think what else we've learned this season is Cavani is an absolute fucking animal in front of goal. He's a predator. I love the guy, and I'm glad he's staying for another season. I also learned that Victor Lindelof could be a bit shaky, even more shaky than normal. So, you know, under pressure, he can't handle it too well. But then he scores against the mighty Leeds United, so fucking get in there. I just think it's been a terrific. I wouldn't say terrific, maybe that's the wrong word, but it's been a good season all round. I think, you know, a solid 7.5, solid 7 out of 10 for me. I think I said we've got plenty to learn from and plenty to build upon. You know, which is always a good place to be instead of having lots to learn upon and nothing to build. You know, from, you know, so we're getting there. Baby steps, but we're getting there.
I won't lie, Ben. There was far less compliments for me in that sentence than I expected. But hey, look, it's fine.
I love you, pal.
It's all right. We have Hammer can make up for it. You can save it all for the end. Don't worry. You can write down. You can get a nice essay going there, and we'll have you do a monologue at the end. Hammer, for yourself, what have you learned about me this season alongside Man United?
Well, it's definitely not going to make up for it because I was just saving up for saying that what I did learn is that for anybody who didn't know, Joe is British.
Oh my God.
What? Oh, right through a dagger in the heart, twist it around and throw it over your shoulder, you son of a bitch.
He's bloody wearing the Clover Hammer.
He just wants, and look, he's frozen.
That's an ankle shirt, by the way. Knocked off one.
He is frozen now. He is frozen. And this isn't a knockoff, this is a knockoff Irish jersey, which I bought from an Indonesian company for £15. It was great.
That just means you're not trying hard enough.
Okay. Dropping that lies. What have you learned about Man United this season?
Well, I will say that, you know, I think we did well for the team that we have, and we've all seen that as much as we do have certain levels of talent in the team, we still need a lot of holes, not a lot, but a decent amount of holes to fix. And even when it comes to depth, you know, I think there's certain players who might still be here next season, but they might not have a long career at United. But I did learn that this team has something that's going to be very important, especially when we get to full starting 11, you know, top quality, and we're really legitimately starting to compete for titles and trophies and the big ones, you know, is that this team has got some fight in them. And sometimes that's really hard to find in not just single players, but in a group of players overall. So that's what I think I'll put as my thing that I've learned this season, that this team really has some good fight in them. And it doesn't matter if they go down, they're going to come back fighting.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point you actually made, to be fair to you. Connor Roberts, by the way, David coming in to protect me, or David Craven, sorry. Joe, we all know you're Irish.
No.
Thank you. No. David's known for never, ever lying and always telling the truth. Hammer, you're known for constantly lying, for stone-faced lying. And Connor coming in with, we're not here for you, Joe. Hammer is back. That's bigger news. All right, Slabhead official. Yeah, Slabhead revisited. Okay. Stu, we actually have a comment in for you up here.
Do we?
We do actually, yeah. I'm going to get you, hold on. I'm going to full screen you.
Cheers, thanks.
Good old Brendan coming in with that you actually support Liverpool deep down. I'm presuming he is suggesting that to you, considering the fact you constantly wear a Liverpool jersey on certain shows.
No, I think you'll find that he was actually addressing that to you in some play or film you wrote.
You mean Toxic by Joe O'Neill?
Yes, that'd be the one, yes.
Which can be found on YouTube.
Yes, it can. Where he was a Liverpool fanatic, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe in Toxic by Joe O'Neill, which can be found on YouTube.
Yes.
A certain very talented actor plays a Liverpool fan, but never actually wears the jersey. Well, someone here was wearing the jersey one night to create us, great joy of everyone else.
Anyway, what was the question?
The question was, what have you learned about me this season, and what have you learned about Man United this season?
What I've learned about you, relatively straightforward, really. Your favourite holiday destination is Luxembourg, and your favourite holding midfield player is Declan Rice.
Okay, you're only allowed to answer one. And the Luxembourg one.
Someone else can have Declan Rice. What have I learned about United? Resilience. I agree with Hammer, really. We've got a resilience, which I must admit, at the start of the season, I didn't think we had it in us. We've learnt that Ollie, whatever people may or may not think about Ollie, and I've heard differing views, of course, has started to turn a massive corner in his managerial career. The Premier League, when we start off at the beginning of the season, we want to win it, and only one team can win it. So your next best thing is to finish second, and Ollie has achieved that with probably not the strongest squad we've had in a while. He appears to have an excellent man management side to him. He's had to put up with a lot of issues, Harry Maguire being one, Mason Greenwood being another, and he's come through those quite well. I can see a ruthless side to him starting to come to the fore, and it's been quite interesting. It's been an interesting kind of roller coaster ride, I think, this year. To go the whole season unbeaten away from home is a huge achievement. And I think if you can crown it off on Wednesday night with winning the Europa League, I think you can consider it to be a very, very good season. I don't go with progression because we finished third last season, we finished second this season. So, it's as plain as the ears on the side of your head. What I do think is, let's see what happens in 2 or 3 years' time, because I think we now need to give him, I think he's earned the right to be with the club for the next 3 seasons. And let's see where we are there. But resilience is the key for me. And a team bonding and a team spirit I don't think we've seen for a good few years. Yeah,
Stu, I meant to listen to you, but I matched with a girl on Hinge called Madison.
Nice.
And she seems really nice, but I don't know if I could ever be with someone named Madison.
Madison.
Why, you don't think she'll like the bus?
I think
if you sing Wheels of the Bus Go round to her, she might do a little.
No. But she's already. I don't know if you know how Hinge works, but she's already liked my photograph. So now it's up to me to be like if I agree to like her. And she's nice.
Go. Ask her if she likes Square Gardens.
Square Gardens. Hold on. I need to go to Ammon that one. What does that mean, Square Gardens?
Her first name's Madison. I've just asked you if she likes Square Gardens.
Madison Square Gardens.
Can
we have a look?
Joe.
Oh, that's that shit.
I'm a Knicks fan, and that one over my head.
Can we have a look at
I can get away with it on this side of the shore. Okay, that's fine. You stay on your side of the pond and all that stuff. Thank you.
Okay. Stu, I'm not going to show a photo because I feel that would get me in a lot of trouble at some point.
Well, I think you should.
No, I've matched her. Grant, it's gone. Anyway. I'm going to T. I know that's your first time on the Wall of Red, so this will be a difficult question for you. But what have you learned about me over this past year, and what have you learned about Man United?
Sorry, I didn't hear the question. You kind of glitched.
What have you learned about me, most importantly?
What have I learned about
if you have time, and if you have time, what have you learned about Man United?
I mean, about you, well, that Irish shirt is nice.
That's good. Okay, I will take that as the winner so far. Someone who finally said it's a fucking Irish jersey. Thank you, T. You're my favourite, and no one's going to
It's a fake Irish jersey.
What did he say?
He said, no, we all heard it. It's recorded. It's live. People have seen it in the comments. Thank you, T. Now take it away. What have you learned about Man United?
Oh, hold on. It's your first time on, isn't it, T? It's your first time on the show, isn't it, T?
Sorry, what was the last question?
I think it's the best reception. Yeah.
It's your first time on the show, isn't it?
Yeah, it's my first one. Yeah.
Okay. You do realise he's fucking off tonight, don't you?
I can't hear you.
You do realise you can.
He can't hear you. He can't hear you. That's the right answer, T. That's the right answer, T. So what have you learned about Man United, T? Now we covered the main topic.
So about United, firstly, this season I'd give us a 6.5 out of 10. I think we've made progress compared to last season, especially with it being Bruno Fernandes's first full season. And I've seen signs that we're trying to establish a pattern of play, especially down the left with Rashford or Pogba and Shaw. However, we still have the same issues breaking down deep blocks. And I'd like to see us sign like a defensive midfielder who can enable our more creative players to take more risks, shall I say, against teams that play in a deep block. I think that could really take us up another 1-2 levels. But overall, this season, I have seen things that does excite me for next season, especially with Greenwood. In his last 5, 6, 7 games, he's been unreal. And this season we've seen he's not just a poacher. There's a lot more to his game. And I remember watching him in the youth team, and I saw him score free kicks with his left and right foot. So I'd like to see him get a chance on the first team to take some free kicks. But overall, I'd say we have made quite a lot of progress this year, but we still have some of the same issues that we did last season.
That was very good work, T. Welcome to the show. Andy, my man, my main man. All right, hold on. Stuart, by the way, not you, Stu. You're Stu. This is Stuart. So Stuart, fuck you. Not England B shirt, okay? This Irish jersey, okay? All right, and the jersey you wear is the Republic of Ireland C team, all right? Okay? Enjoy your Alex Bruce, all right?
You see how I was butchering up Andy, though? Oh, Andy, my main man, Andy.
Coming to you now, Andy. First off, main question of the entire evening. What have you learned about me over the past 12 months? And if you have time, what have you learned about Manchester United Football Club?
I was going to say, Stu took my, the Luxembourg and Declan Rice one. So probably when you was getting ripped for Luxembourg, when they kept showing the Thierry Henry picture, and I thought,
one of you could, bring up a good thing I did or a good thing that happened to me, but that's fine, Andy. That's fine. Okay, I see how it is. This is why certain people are nicer to me. Okay, go ahead. Okay, take it away. What have you learned about United this year?
So I agree with Benny's rating. It's been like 7 out of 10 from United this season. I mean, to go unbeaten away all season, then that's some achievement. I mean, perhaps the lack of fans has played its part because we've not had away fans, opposition fans against us, but it's still a hugely impressive record. I mean, for next season, the home form needs to improve, because if the away performances still carry on at this level, then we can definitely put a title charge together. I mean, I was looking at the tables earlier, the away form and the home table. I think on the away our former away shows us 6th in the table, so we've just got to improve that. But also on Ollie as well, I think every test that's been thrown at him this season, he's come through with flying colours. I mean, say back in October, it was just the way results had started for us at the start of the season. It was like, well, Ollie could be looking at getting the sack, and then he got that result at Everton and then kicked on. And say he's done really well, and say we just got to hopefully come away with the Europa League trophy at the end of it. Also, two key players that I think we need to want to keep is Paul Pogba. I think his form in like the second half of the season has been pivotal for us, and also when he was out of the side, we kind of lacked that creativity, and Bruno wasn't playing well either. Also, Harry Maguire as well. I think we missed his leadership in the last few games. So I'm hoping he might just be fit for the Europa League game, but if not, I would put Twanzebe in, because I just think today he just had a brilliant game. So I'd put him over by for the game against Villarreal.
Absolutely. I just got an update there. I was just checking Twitter. England have stolen another Irish treasure. Obviously, they stole Grealish. Obviously, they stole that Rat Rice. And now, apparently, they stole Jedward, because Jedward has been called up to the under-19s English squad as a goalkeeper. And it's someone named Jed Ward.
I thought he was taking a piss then. I thought he meant the Jedward, the two Wallies from
No. That one. Who just got distraught there? Ahmed got distraught at that and left.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. Sorry, who's gone?
It's T.
The new guy.
T's gone. T's gone. T's a big Jedward fan. But we'll come to you now, Ahmed.
Hello,
first main question, and try not to cry when saying, what have you learned about me over the past season? And then, if you've got time, what have you learned about Manchester United Football Club?
Okay, first of all, I'm very, very delirious because I've been at a football match today, which has led to a title being won. I have a headache. I'm trying not to overdo it this evening.
Ahmed, that has nothing to do with how great I am. So fit in me first, okay?
But I've got space for you in my with the many problems up here. I've only been here for a short period of time on this wonderful platform. And yeah, so I have to say, Joe, the one thing I've learned that, I find enjoyable about these shows and having you on them is more or less is that you're not afraid to tell us what you think. And I think you being such an outspoken person has an edge to these sorts of shows. So that's something about you I like. Now to the serious business.
I want to point out, thank you, finally someone deciding to give me a fucking compliment. Okay? It took, 5 people to get to that point? I just want to say thank you, Ahmed. Officially been promoted. And Stu, you're muted. Yeah. We're going to go back to the wonderful Ahmed now, and Ahmed can give me his thoughts on Manchester United, okay?
Tonight I was being good. I thought, you know what, I'll be good tonight.
He's like a big tart looking for his compliments, isn't he?
I only wanted to say what you learned about me. Ahmed decided to give me a compliment. It's just the way it worked out.
It's the actor in him.
It's the everything in me,
I just have a good friendship with Irish people. That's something that's something I can harness till my deathbed.
Unlike a lot of Brits. I'm sorry, Ugly Bear just with the ultimate compliment. Joe is a decent presenter. I'll take that's a solid 6 out of 10 compliment right there, and I will take that to my fucking grave. Ahmed, sorry, about Man United.
I haven't followed the game today, but I'm very happy that Ollie's finished the season unbeaten in terms of away performances. I think we've got a lot to learn from more or less a few specific occasions this season. The Everton game, the Spurs game come to mind, Sheffield United at home. Maybe some other on the other nights, the Champions League defeat to Leipzig. Some of the lows that I think we can learn from. But you know what, today felt like, because of what I've been up to, I haven't followed it strongly. But I think we've done well to pick up a result against a side like Wolves, who I'm sure would have gone on to do better things this season had they played the similar kind of football they played to get into Europe. But yeah, I'm glad we've finished second. I'm glad that we've got still a chance at winning a competition I preferred to win. At the start of this year, if you told me which of the cups I would like to have won, I'd have said the Europa League, because it's a European competition. And I think even though the FA Cup's wonderful and you have those great days out at Wembley, the Carabao Cup the same, but I just thought it has to be the Europa League. It needed to be the priority competition. And in the end, when we did lose to Leicester, it became even more important. So I'm glad we're in the final. I'm hopeful now that Ollie's best 11 is ready for that game, because I'm not very confident, not in United per se, but in our opposition. And I'd talk all night about it. But yeah, like the rest of you guys have, if I was to rate tonight or this season as a whole, I would give it about, I'd say a 6. I'll bump it to an 8 if we win on Wednesday. And for me, that's my modest amount. I'd like better. But we've got a lot to improve on for next season. I mean, so many holes that need to be filled. But this team, I think, are just a few players away. But we've been saying it for years now. It's just a matter of when, really.
Yeah, just a matter of when. And
Sorry, I've got to jump on here. I don't get 6.5. I don't get it. How can we have a 6 or a 6.5 season? It makes no sense to me at all.
I just think, Stu, like, I understand your opinion and I respect it. It's just that, I think back now, it's all the Premier League matches are done and all that. I thought this year we would have been just a little bit closer to Manchester City. We've overtaken Liverpool, which is obviously the first and most format thing. Just finish above them. That's great. So Ollie's achieved so much there. And I'm not saying he's done a bad job. I've been a staunch supporter of Ollie since he came into the job. It's more the fact that, this season a lot of luck has come our way. And we've either been like pegged back in the last minute, or we've had a couple of moments where, like, I hate to bring it up again, but the Sheffield United and Leipzig games for me were like my real low points. I know we lost to Spurs 6-1, but that was early in the season, and we recovered brilliantly after that. But I think, the Leipzig was the low point because I thought we could have played so much better. We set up wrong. We didn't look like we were really confident at going for that essential point we needed to get into the last 16. And then the Sheffield United game, I think this was when we were in touching distance of Manchester City, who were on their winning run. All we had to do was just keep pace as best as we can. We've only gone, it ended up now 12 points behind them at the end of it. And
yeah, I do agree with you, and I respect your opinion as well. I expect everybody's opinion on here, but football's mainly about player discipline and player will when you're on that pitch, and it isn't. And I'm not jumping and defending Ollie, but it really is the players. It's down to the players. The manager can only do so much. It's really down to the players. I just think we've had a much stronger season. Where you look at where we've come from and to where we are today, I just think we've had a much stronger season than 6 and 6.5.
I'm just going to keep going because
we're
talking too much about football, not enough about me. So once we really cover, once we get the Kai's thoughts on me, and then then we can get talking about football, okay? And there's a lot of people. Thanks for pointing out. A lot of people being nice to me in the comments, because it's my last day. Let's just look at them for a second before we go to Kai. I know Kai is crazy about seeing them and crazy about seeing these guys being pointed out. The wonderful Nat, yes, Joe, that's a love heart from Nat. Always love to see that. There was
look at him pandering now.
One second. John, the wonderful John, Joe, compliment for you that you're a great presenter and a great laugh. John, you're so good. Let me just find another one. If there's another one. Anyway, we'll keep going. We'll go to Kai. We'll go to Kai to see us out. What? Fuck you, Fred.
Oh my God.
That's comment of the night, by the way.
Yeah, that's comment. That's winning. Is Joe leaving? I think he's leaving out the smiley face there. I am, Jacob. This is my last time presenting. Last time hosting. I might be on next week, but this is my last time hosting. So thanks so much. But Kai, what have you learned about me over these past 12 months? And what have you learned about Man United over these last 12 months?
Okay, well, fine. I'll start off with you, Joe.
Yes.
Look, I think.
All right, don't need to fucking pause so long.
No. You'll hear why I'm pausing just now. You'll hear why I'm pausing. Okay. It's because I'm trying to find the right word to explain somebody who, even from afar, seems very genuine. Someone who is quite grounded and who believes in the right things from everything that I've seen about you, and a person who has no business being nice to me because they don't even know me that well, but still are open to being a good person. So in amidst of all the jokes and everything, I just want you to know that I think you are a genuinely special person, and I'm definitely sure you'll be great with whatever you do in the future. So it is sad to see you leave the show. You're also the only person that could also be late with sending the link, and then it's okay because I'm also late for the show. So that's just great. Our timings are in sync. So thank you very much, Joe, for everything. Actually, it's been awesome.
Kai,
how many euros has he sent you for that? He must have padded your bank account for that.
Well, bought 500 of his EPs. Kai,
talk about a dramatic pause. Damn.
Yeah, Kai, thank you so much for that. That's genuinely so super lovely, and I'm really bad with dealing with compliments, so I'm just gonna have to insult you and say fuck you.
That is the greatest response ever. I'm gonna take that.
It's not like it's live on the internet or anything. Anyway, Kai, on football. What have you learned from Man United this season?
Well, okay, fine. Well, I'll try to go through this very quickly. But firstly, I want to point out that I don't believe anyone thought that we would be in the position that we ended up being in. And that's superb, and that's testament that the squad actually is responding to instructions, to the manager, to all of that. And I think the ability of the team to not let the off-field nonsense get to them, I think that's been also something that's been really key to the season not unraveling the way that it probably could have unraveled, because our captain was in Greece, but everyone forgot about Greece. And that's how well that it was all dealt with within United. I know we always talk about the leaks and how the club doesn't run well and all of that, but I think within the squad itself, within the management team and the player staff, I think there's a really a grounded feel in there. So I think that's great. And I think as well as that, finally, we are not saying to ourselves that the team doesn't have passion. We just saying the team is tired at some stage, because before we used to say these guys don't want to run, they're not playing for the shirt. So I think that was something that was also great. And I mean, we won games 9-0, guys. I mean, we were so ruthless in games that we had to be ruthless in, and how, we haven't said that in a long time about United. So that was great. And the last thing which I learned was that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is actually a manager and has, beyond reasonable doubt, actually convinced a lot of people that tried to force the agenda that he is just a PE teacher, because people really believe this. And, he's actually shown that he's actually a good manager. He's tactically not inept, whatever that meant. And yeah, I think he's just taught the team to have a goldfish mentality, for those that watch Ted Lasso. Even in games, we concede, we get back to it. In fact, Ole is like Ted Lasso with the tactics. Ted Lasso that knows football. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's what I learned, actually. Pretty much, yeah.
I completely agree with what you're saying there. I think there's too much recency bias when it comes to football in general, but like with the likes of Ollie and stuff like that, with the fact that he will, like, let's say, for example, beat PSG, beat Leipzig, best manager in the world, loses to Leipzig, loses to PSG, worst manager in the world. Do you know what I mean? And there's too much, like, of this Twitter thing of saying Ollie out whenever the season allows it. Do you know what I mean? And then if you look at how he's progressed, think about it, when we lost 4-0 to Everton at the beginning of his, like, technical reign, do you know what I mean? If you take away the interim stuff, like, who would have thought we'd be here? Do you know? Who would have thought he would have seen out, would have had the longevity? Like, genuinely, he is one of the top managers in the league once he starts winning trophies, okay? Because to get the players on side, to get first of all, get like players like Pogba, Bruno, get these top world-class players respecting you and wanting to play for you, and getting a tune out of them, and then also coming second, progressing every season, shows he is a good manager. Like, there's no way around it. He needs the trophy to stop people at him, you know?
And Joe,
Sorry.
just to add to
Yes.
that, though, can you imagine that he convinced Paul Pogba, who wanted to
Yep.
leave, that actually, you know what, Paul, we're going to play Scott and Fred just behind you, and then you're going to go and you're going to play wide. You might, and we're just going to sort of sort the team around that way. And sometimes you're going to go to the right because we're going to need you on the right. And then, sometimes you might go in deep during the game when we change. I mean, for him to get a big player to also do that, to be okay with that he's got two guys behind him, which genuinely he knows he could play the ball better in that midfield than they could, right? And for him to convince, Bruno and Pogba that, look, sometimes the passes may be bad. Sometimes they're genuinely going to be bad passes played through the lines. But you know what? These guys are going to do the work for you. These guys are going to work for you. They're going to continue to run for you guys. And I mean, just the adaptability, just changing tactics within the game. It's already hard to take instructions. I know Stu will know from playing as well, to take one set of instructions, just one plan and execute it well. But what we've done is we've actually changed it up a lot of times, even during from game to game, and for a manager to do that, I think it's
huge.
Pretty impressive. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to kind of I like to focus in on Ollie as manager, because I do think he is still a hidden gem for the fact that he's just not getting the respect he deserves, and he does frustrate sometimes. I think the outstanding frustrating moment of the year was the Fred not taking Fred off, when we all knew what was going to happen. We all knew that was going to happen. He didn't take him off. He was given a lifeline by him only getting booked. They didn't take him off, so that's the frustrating thing. But he is still progressing. But if you were going to describe Ollie's style of football now, Ben, I'll come to you first on this. How would you describe how Ollie likes to play football? And I spilled my Guinness, so I have to run and get in tissue. So if I'm not back in time, that's why, but it should be. But Ben, go ahead.
Well, I think Ollie's trying to bring back a Manchester United style of football that we all can sort of identify with and all love with, as well as implement his own style as well at the same time. I just think we have so many overreactionary fans, and I think so many fans with agendas, and so many fans that take things out of context, like what he says in press conferences or something. Just now, I've just been on Twitter now, and just saying that people took Marcus Rashford's interview with, I can't remember which paper, do forgive me, out of context, when he said, 1 year, when he said, I might see myself playing abroad, but 1 year for like a Real Madrid or something. Do you know what I mean? And someone just tweeted him about it, saying, all this stuff, because Johnny FX, the sweary, shouty guy from fucking Twitter, is telling him he'd rather him solo than a Martial or something. And Rashford's come out and said that's completely out of context. He was talking as a kid in the playground. When you're enjoying football overall, and you're saying like, you dream of playing, abroad, for Real Madrid. It's like in the playground where you can't be a Manchester United, so you pick another team, you be Real Madrid. We've all done that as kids. I think everybody, our fan base tries to take, well, not all of them, but some of them, the reactionary lot, the ones with agendas, try to take the littlest thing they can find and screw the words, take it out of context, put it on Twitter, try to build a following around it, try and build some mass fury that Marcus Rashford dare say that, or Ole Gunnar Solskjaer dare say something about the club which they that they think they don't like to hear and stuff like that. And do you know what I mean? It just fucking makes me sick, man. How about get behind your fucking manager, get behind your fucking players? Marcus Rashford's a red through and through, so is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But the one thing I will say about Ole, like I said in plenty of shows, is the right man for the right at the right time in this job. He's got the shit pointing forward again. Yes, he's still got a lot to learn. Yes, he has made mistakes along the way, but he will learn from them. Yeah. You take more from learning and learning from your mistakes and learning from, maybe making that substitution 5-10 minutes quicker in a game where you're chasing it, and trying to chase down the league title, for example, or trying to stay in the Champions League, taking a player off that's been booked, for example, just to protect yourself. But listen, he's done a lot of work behind the scenes, which people, these reactionary people, as I call them, don't seem to take into account. He's switching a lot back behind the scenes, back to the way it used to be, getting Manchester United back to that family-orientated club that we all know and love, behind the scenes. Yeah. making people behind the scenes, like the girls that work in the canteen or whatever, make them feel special, make them feel part of the football club. They've got a big role in the football club. Just like Alex did, it's just like Matt Busby did. He's born and bred with that DNA from Ollie, from Sir Alex, and to just get off his case, really. You know what I mean? I don't care what style of football we play, so long as we give the guy the time that he needs to get the squad in that he wants to go and challenge for a league title, because we are going places with him. And I think it's about time that some of these reactionary people just shut the fuck up and believe in the process. I don't really care about a style of play. I just want us to look at the progression that has been made, and we have made progression. I don't care what anybody says. The most arrogant Ollie outer would say we have made progression, and that boat is pointing in the right direction. I'll shut up now. Sorry, Joe.
No, that was absolutely beautiful, Ben. I didn't want to interrupt at all. I have someone special waiting in the wings about to come in, but I want to come to a great comment by Stuart here. Was it sorry to make it all about Northern Ireland? Yes, don't do that, Stuart. But as I normally do. But look what Michael O'Neill did with us. What Michael O'Neill did, and he used to manage Shamrock Rovers and Brechin. I don't know how to pronounce them. Michael O'Neill is genuinely a phenomenal manager, and what he did with Northern Ireland is unprecedented, and turned them into a nothing country. Sorry, Stu. Who had crap players. Sorry, Stu, and could never achieve any sort of happiness at all. Sorry, Stu. Who are awful team, an awful country. Sorry, Stu. But what Michael O'Neill did with them, and to make them far superior to the Republic of Ireland, is down to what a good manager can do, even no matter what the experience is. It's just about winning. And Michael O'Neill did it everywhere. And look, he's at Stoke now. He's going to continue to grow. He'll be a top manager in 5 or 6 years' time. But in the... Sorry, yeah. Thanks, Jim. In the comments, we have... sorry, not in the comments. Backstage, we have a special guest. You might know him from his time in the 80s, from singing Kama 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 Chameleon. He's so give a big up to the wonderful boy George. Sorry, Mark Biggs. Sorry, Mark Biggs. Sorry, I don't know about special either, but thank you, mate. Yeah, it's just when I saw you down there, I thought you were someone else. That's my apologies there.
I'm sorry, I'm late.
I'm late. All right, you warned me you'd be awake, but it's okay. We can give you the question. What have you learned about me over the past 12 months? And, what have you learned about me?
Here we go again, Mark.
That's why he's here. He came in, he wants to be part of the first question. And at the first
Don't answer it.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
It's here now. Anyway, what have you learned about me? What have you learned about Man United?
Well, as I said to Temi earlier, it's a real crying shame that you're going, to be honest with you, mate. And you make things, you're very funny, and you make things quite exciting to be a part of. So thank you, mate.
See, this is what I mean. Another fucking genuine one. I can't deal with these, Mark. Okay, thank you very much. But fuck you. Sorry, I did the same for Kai.
I thought you said you wanted a lie.
That's it. And yes, Fred's right. But Mark, what have you learned about Man United this season?
I mean, they have been frustrating at times. There's no doubt about that. But I would say that I am back to loving the team again. I'm back to loving the manager again. We've got an average age of 24 or whatever it is, probably going to get younger next year after losing Juan Mata and Matic quite possibly. There's a lot to be happy about. We had a dreadful start and so did Man City, and now we're top 2. If we'd have taken advantage of those first few games, it could have been a very, very different story. And I was listening to Benny backstage just now, and he's absolutely right. There's too many reactionary people, and we need to focus on the positives. It's not been the best of seasons, but it could have been a damn sight worse. And quite frankly, a rebuild takes a little while. I know that we've been doing it for 8 years, but unfortunately, the club was in disarray when Mourinho left it, and Ollie has had a huge rebuilding job to do. I'm very much on the fence, but he's done a great job. Fair play to him. He's there to learn. He's got a lot to learn, but he's done so much right, and I'm pleased and I'm proud of him.
Oh my God, this is definitely the last show because Mark's being positive. This is a weird feeling. Well, you know, you have your saying when you just start quickly, and it's always, all right, lads, maybe we're not going to win the league. And no one wants to hear that. We want blind optimism, goddammit, blind optimism. But Ahmed, coming to you, what do you think? Do you know what? Because you had I want to say controversial, but what you were saying beforehand, what is your favorite thing about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Favorite part of his managerial style, or whether it be across the board? What's your favorite thing about him that you support?
Ollie, for me, he's my first of all as a player. He's one of my heroes because obviously what he did for the club at a time when I was still a young lad, like everyone else would have been in 1999. Yeah,
not Stu. Stuart wasn't a young fella. Stuart was somehow only a year younger than he is now.
And I wonder why. But yes, at the time he scored the most important goal for the club and brought us home the treble. But as a manager, I see things in him that I don't see in many other coaches today. He's always he's as honest as he can be without necessarily making it sound like he's giving too much away. And I like that he can be like that sometimes. I said before on other methods of waffling on the internet that I like the manager to be a bit more aggressive and a bit more out there with his opinions. I think Ollie this season, having seen how challenging it has been to manage a side with this compact schedule, to try and turn over the players, keep them fit, and make sure they're all at 100% almost game in, game out, is quite remarkable. And I credit him for it. He's earned his stripes this season. And I, for one, think he's gaining tactical nous as well now. He's getting a bit more of that. I think what fans are struggling to understand is that he can do well in big games. He loves it. If he can master just I'm sure everyone would have a point regarding this. Sorry. So I sound like the crazy chicken from Looney Tunes now. If he sorts out the smaller teams, the teams at the bottom of the league, and because I think this season we had three matches where we didn't win against the bottom three. If we can get something from those, we get points from the bottom three next season and build on our top six form, I feel like we can really have a sustained push. But you're going to see them all strengthen in the summer, so it's about how we strengthen as well. And Ollie's got a big role to play with that.
Absolutely. And just keep us up to date here because Jacob just said Lille are about to win Liga. Juventus squeezes in Champions League with Milan and Napoli missing out and having failed to win.
He's right.
So if Lille have won it, keep us up to date because.
Well, I'm looking at it. It's literally seconds to go now. I think Angers just scored, but I don't think they're going to be able to get an equaliser with this, so little time left.
Yeah,
they're crying at the referee, the Lille players at the moment, literally asking him.
That is magnificent because Lille have no money, are going to fall apart next season, to be fair. So I really hope they just get as much, enjoy it as well they can.
Oh, they've done it. There you go.
Yes, there we go.
Congrats
to Lille. This is where we all applaud. Come on.
Yes, well done to Lille.
Yeah, well done to Lille.
Frenchman hugging and sharing many emotions. Yeah. It's wonderful to see.
Stu, coming to you now, my man. The opposite question. Yeah, go ahead, Kai.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say, in terms of managers learning, because I always hear a lot people saying, Ole's learning or he's got a lot to learn and all of that. But I mean, do world-class managers stop learning the moment they win a big trophy or the moment that they're world-class? I mean, every manager is always learning. Pep had to lose a title pretty badly in the first season for him to learn actually that the English game is slightly different. Small adjustments that he needs to make, but he had to essentially, sort of kind of reformulate a plan which he thought he always knew. So I think, I just still feel like it's a little bit disrespectful always that we don't see Ole as a manager that's been there for 10 years who's won titles. I'm pretty sure that he's, I don't know. Why do we talk about him like he's not and act like this was his first ever job? Kind of a first year or something. I don't know. I'm just a question.
I want to throw this. Sorry, Kai. I'm want to throw a question out here. Pochettino can't even win Liga. That's a fair point by Fred, because I will say to lose that with PSG is a harder thing than actually winning it. Sorry, John Commode has a comment here. Congratulations on Neil to winning the French league, to which they call reactionary fans wanted Poch as our manager, and he couldn't even win the French league with PSG.
Meant to be the easiest league to win.
But I'm going to ask this to you, Stu. Do you think Poch would have got us to the same level Solskjaer has with this team if he had come in? And in the same question, do you think that Solskjaer would have won Liga with PSG?
So, in answer to your question, with Pochettino, no, not a chance. And would Ollie win Liga with PSG? Probably, but Pochettino only took over, didn't he, in December? Something like that?
January.
So it's an unfair comparison to Pochettino, really. Look, what makes me frustrated, what makes me laugh, is that there are a multitude of our fans on Twitter who obviously play Football Manager, or they're playing FIFA or whatever, and think they can manage a football team. And it just isn't as easy as FIFA and Football Manager is, because you've got a multitude of things you've got to cope with. And they also they come and they shout and they scream, Ollie out, blah 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 blah, and yet offer no alternative to who they would like. Or they might throw in I don't know, a Nigelsmann or whatever, because they don't really know anything else. They just hear these names and they don't really know. It's a lack of understanding of football in general. And I don't know why. Maybe they're Sunday morning footballers who are drinking beer and smoking fags. I don't know. But there's more to football management. There's more to playing football than just kicking a football around. And the interesting thing about the topic of tactics and tactical analysis, most teams now have an analytics team who are there to do the analysis on opposition. It doesn't fall on the manager or the coaches anymore. It falls on the analytics team. And it falls, the fitness falls on to, fitness coaches, nutritionists, specialists. And players don't actually need coaching. And that, again, is a myth. They don't necessarily need coaching, because players have played football all their lives. They're going through the ranks, through the under 9s, under 10s, under 18s at Manchester United, under 23s. It's the first team, through their relevant clubs. Football is common sense. I've said this on here many a time. It is common sense. You can prepare, a manager prepares a squad of players, and he will prepare the team for any given game. And he will demonstrate certain things that the team has done. And then he sends them out onto the pitch. And then it's down to those 11 players, or 14 or 15 players throughout the duration of the game, to go out and win that game of football. And Benny I was talking about segments, wasn't I, Benny, last night on the pitch?
Yes, you was, pal, yeah.
Yeah. So for players, whoever you are, you've got your own little segments in and around the pitch, and that's your segment of play. And if you've noticed a pattern of play change, it's not for Ollie or our coaches to notice that. It's for you to notice that. And it's for them to you to communicate to your closest player, your closest colleague, what's going on and how you can eradicate that pattern of play. And it can be anywhere. You can be a disruptor and a central midfield player. You can be a centre half who's got to get hold of the centre forward. Or you could be an outside right player. It doesn't matter. It's your segment of that pitch, and it's down to you to identify the issues that are occurring in your patterns of play in that area.
I don't want to interrupt you, but where the hell is Declan?
Is there a fire at his house? Do we need to
I'm only just home from work, so I'm actually.
Declan, where the hell are you?
Is he in the
It looks like he's in a sauna.
See,
I can't see
my
it.
head went to a hot box, but I don't think that's what
Genuinely, where are you?
I'm just home from work. I've actually just turned this on my phone. I'm just grabbing my laptop there now.
Is
phone.
Your screen.
Can you move the light?
No,
over,
can't go in the screen. The screen is cracked. I dropped this phone more than I dropped
it's
a
cracked.
child.
Good Lord Almighty.
Oh my
Yeah.
God!
I thought Declan Rice had come in. I figured Joe wasn't going to be happy.
Yeah. What? Did someone say Declan Rice?
He's right there.
Anyway, in closing,
Sorry, Stu. Sorry.
My point being is that you can go on Twitter and you can listen to these idiots rant and rave about how good Ollie is, or they'll have an attack of some of the players. There's just a real lack of understanding of football. And as I said before, it doesn't matter whether you play, and it doesn't matter, by the way, if you're playing on a Sunday morning, a Saturday afternoon, a Monday night with your mates. You know, everyone's got an understanding of the game. And so most people who really do understand it would know that Ollie can only do so much. And so, okay, let's move Ollie on. Let's bring in whoever. And then you've got another 3-year cycle. Because in 3 years' time, our fan base will be whinging about the current manager. And we spent millions backing him. It's just stupid. You've got to give Ollie a chance. So anyway, that's my thoughts on it.
I think Stu is completely right. Like, the amount of people you talk about, like, what manager would you bring in instead of Solskjaer, and they don't know. You never get a reply out of it. You never get anything out of it. Like, so I think Solskjaer has done. I think he's done everything right this season.
Deck, I'm so sorry. It's really hard to take you seriously when you look like a ghost.
I think let me put it this way: it's hard to take me seriously when it's normal anyway. So it doesn't really matter.
Sorry, I'm gonna go
calling us from. It looks like
from
he's
beyond the
calling us
grave.
from the street.
Yeah.
Like from
Hammer.
the party, like coming from a club or something.
Hannah, we haven't heard from you in a while, so I'm going to go to you next. Seeing as, look, Poch is, you know, a lot of people still see him as a great manager. I would say he's a very good manager as well. But is there any part of you that feels that we went in the wrong direction with Solskjaer? Do you feel like it's the long plan is the best way to go? Or is there any negativity you can see towards the way that it's working out for us now?
No, I think Ole was the right choice simply for and I know some people might not like this, but and it's true, the DNA version of it, right? Like, Poch doesn't know shit about Manchester United. Ole does, and I think the direction that people are saying now that we're going in the right direction is the United direction. So when it comes to the style that we're playing, when it comes to the attitude of the players, right? When it comes to the ways that we are winning, right? Whether it's we blow somebody out or whether it's we have a hard game and we still pull the W out. I think that goes to Ole in this sense that he has been able, and I think Stu kind of brought it up too. He talked about how, you know, it's not really coaching necessarily for the players, but I think it's a small part of coaching in this sense that I think Ole and whatever style he's trying to do that's his own, as well as mix it with United, he has got these players as a whole and as a group to fully buy into what he wants them to do and what he needs them to do. And I think that is what is helping with this progression. So, no, I think Ole was the right choice long-term. Bring back what United stands for. Bring in the right players. Not, you know, like the people always talk about with Jose, right? I don't really actually want to mention him on here, but right, he wins for the now, right? He expects that he's going to be moving on at some point. So he just wants his players short-term to get a couple trophies and then piss off. Ole is, and I think he said it at some point too in an interview a while ago, so I don't even remember when or how he said it, but he said that let's say it doesn't work out for him here, he's trying to set this team up for whatever manager comes in next so they don't have to go into a full rebuild. So Ole was the right way to go because he has been able to get it on the right track, get it in the style that we need United playing in, and get this group of players to buy into him.
Hama, can I ask you, first of all, what is your actual real name? Because we found out Hama is a nickname.
Well, it's not that far off. My name's Hammond.
Oh, that's not far off at all.
Yeah.
That's not even a little bit. That's not a nickname. That's just a shortened version of your name.
Listen, I've had a stupid amount of nicknames in my life, and that was something that actually stuck. So.
Oh, because it's basically your name. But we'll say I'm going to bring this kind of one across the board. I'm going to come to you next with this T as well. But with the managers we've had post Fergie, which are obviously Moyes, Van Gaal, Jose, and Ollie, how do you rank them? Where would you put worst to first? And I want to also point out, I think Ollie isn't yet the longest serving manager post Fergie, but he is still, you know, I think he's the best win ratio, but still no trophies. So I'm just going to throw that out there.
Okay.
Until Wednesday.
Until
Yeah.
fucking Wednesday.
See, so you're not gonna love my answer, but if he wins that trophy, I'll put him at 1, Jose at 2, and the other 2 don't fucking matter. But that's what it is, right?
Is it close? Is it close between Jose and Ollie?
I think the only thing making it close would be the trophies, because Mourinho didn't do anything for the club, right? I guess I can't say that. He did win us the trophies, but what I mean is he left us in a fucking shithole. Sorry, Mark. Right? Like he left us in shambles, man. Right? He left us in shambles. So I think if Ole wins this final and finally gets a trophy, in the managers post Sir Alex, he is number 1. Jose is number 2, and the other 2 can flip a coin and see who gets 3rd and 4th.
Okay. I'm going to go. Who have we got next? I said T. T, I'm going to come to you. Sorry, man. You've been waiting very patiently, very wonderfully in the corner there. Thank you so much. We'll throw it out there. Same question. I want you to rank them 4th to 1st, but I want you to put it in your mind. We'll say we can't include the Europa League final because it hasn't happened. So we'll say if we lose the Europa League final, we'll say 2-1, whatever way we want to put it. So Ollie has to win a trophy. Would you rank Ollie ahead of Jose still, or would you rank it differently? Or how would you rank it? Sorry, 4th to 1st anyway. Sorry.
Ooh. Okay. So in terms of trophies, Ole would have to be last because he hasn't won anything. Even David Moyes won a Community Shield. So in terms of that, nothing. So he's last. But in terms of actual progress under his managerial term, I guess, it'd have to be 1st because in terms of all the managers since Fergie, he's the only one who's filled me with any kind of hope in terms of like getting us back to the top. I don't quite think he is the man to win us the league. It's just my opinion, but I'm willing to give him a chance, like I have been for quite a while now. So in terms of all the managers since Fergie, he's definitely number 1. I'd give him that. I'd say 2nd to me personally is Van Gaal. Just simply in terms of the progress some of our younger players made under him, because our younger players didn't really make much progress. They kind of just were what they were under Van Gaal. So I'd put Van Gaal 2nd, Jose 3rd, and then Moisey last, obviously.
Poor Moisey. Poor Moisey. Andrew, coming to you, same question. Also, I don't understand this. Jose was named Kent. Excuse the language. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean. Is that the translation from Jose to English? Kent.
Is it cunt? Is it cunt, maybe?
It is cunt.
No, it's Kent. It's Kent.
No.
Jose is named Kent.
It's getting more expensive.
Benny.
Sorry, I'm reading this on, so I can be excused.
I love the lack of tact there from Ben.
Yeah.
Like clearly, I was being. Does it mean cunt? Does it mean cunt?
Look at Mark's face.
That was quality.
Mark said, "This isn't being monetized now." Andy, come to you now. How is your rank of managers? Would it? I'm gonna try that there. I presume it's between Jose and Ollie for top spot. Actually, what are your thoughts for Louis van Gaal as well? What is he being hard done by everyone putting him 3rd, basically last? Bronze medalist. Is there any comparison between him and Jose?
Well, for Louis van Gaal, well, I say football under Louis van Gaal was just boring at times. I know he won us the FA Cup, and some of the youth players he brought through, like Marcus Rashford, and I give him credit for that. But at the end of the day, the Van Gaal era, it wasn't the most exciting of times. I mean, in terms of like Ollie and Jose, I would put Ollie above Jose. I know Jose has won trophies with us, but I mean, I don't think Ollie gets enough credit for the job he's done and he's continuing to do. I mean, if you look at his record against the top managers and the culture he's trying to create at the club, I mean, when he came in after Mourinho, the morale amongst the staff and players was just at an all-time low. I mean, he's improved our Premier League finishes year on year. We've got 2nd place. We've reached multiple semi-finals. He's got the chance to win his first trophy on a Wednesday. I just say I don't think he gets enough credit tactically as well. I mean, he's trying to build a cohesive winning culture that I think has been lost over the course of the last few managers with Mourinho and Van Gaal. And I mean, he's surrounding himself with also other good people as well, like example Michael Carrick and Darren Fletcher, who know the football club as well. And with Ollie in the recruitment as well, he's trying to bring in players that will be playing for the team, because Ollie's a team guy as well. And I think his management's been really good in that respect, because it's brought United closer than ever before. And like in terms of like recruitment as well, for example, Cavani, if you forget the goals Cavani's scored, it's just the presence of Cavani. I mean, the way he plays, he works hard. He presses from the front. He makes runs. You can never watch Cavani and go, "Oh, you should do more." Ollie sees that, and if you work hard, you'll play, and that's the culture Ollie's trying to implement.
Yeah, absolutely, Andy. And can we welcome everyone, fully, clear and daylight, the wonderful Declan. Thanks, Dec. The only Declan I will allow on this show is Declan Donnelly. I will not allow any Declan other insert Chinese recipe. Dec, I'm going to throw out this question. I'm going to do this across the board as well. I'm going to come to Mark next to this, and then Ben. Yeah, then Ben afterwards. Who did we lose? Anyway, Dec's still here. Dec, if you could have one player from prior to Ollie's reign, so from David Moyes on, who would you want? Who do you think what player would improve our team?
I'm stuck between we need a centre back or Jordan Sancho. You know what I mean? Definitely one of them. But
okay, Dec, your thing is really bad, so I'm going to have to get rid of you. Sorry about that. I can be brutal. It's my last day. He tried his best. He wasn't answering the question I asked him anyway. So, but sorry, Dec. Thanks for trying it. Mark, I'm going to come to you with it now. If you could have one player prior to Ollie's reign, I know Fred, you're 100% Ander Herrera. I'm going to allow you to have him because he was only there for 6. If I get my maths right, he was only there for 6 months for the interim reign. I don't think he was there for the whole time. But if you could have one player from the Moyes era up to now, up to when he took over, who would you take? And this is going across the board, so I'll let you all think. But Mark's got drawn the short straw here.
I thought you were going to ask me my top 4 managers since Fergie, but there you go.
No. You can ask that. Go on. Since you're the one from Mark. No. Go on. Fucking go on, Mark.
No, the player I'd take first of all, Daley Blind. He was a fantastic player. Wasn't really utilised correctly under Mourinho and was sold. And he would be the answer to all of our defensive midfielder problems. I would have gone with Ander Herrera. Fred stole that from me. So I'm going to go to Daley Blind. I think he's a wonderful, wonderful player.
Mark.
Hello.
Oh my God!
Jesus, it's the last show. Look who showed up.
Oh my God! What is going on here?
It's the boss. We're in trouble.
It's the boss. Everyone, stop swearing! Stop swearing, everyone!
He's come from a swear jar, hasn't he?
He has.
It's up to 50 quid now, Ben.
Overfilled.
Benny, first of all, with Joe leaving, congratulations. You're the most likely to swear on a stream now. So congratulations. Congratulations. No, look, just quickly, because I know you're still doing a show, I've got to literally jump on and then run because my throat is shot to bits. I don't know what's wrong with me at the
I
moment.
love your top, Ben. Where'd you get that?
Cheers, bro. Football Town.
Oh.
Cheers, bro. I like it, yeah. I actually paid for this one before we done the deal with them. Yeah. Yeah, you're telling me. Anyway, look, before we carry on, Mark, I know you said some really nice words to Temi earlier on, so thank you for doing that for me, mate, because I couldn't jump on earlier on. But before we go, Joe, and before you hang up the microphone, I don't quite think that many people know how much effort goes into running a fan channel and how much time it takes, and also how I'll swear now, fucking hard it can be on the head sometimes, because ultimately you put your trust in people and you need loyalty, you need reliability, because you can't do it all yourself, especially if you don't want to be a so to speak, a YouTube star or an influencer, which is something I have absolutely no interest in being. So All for United has always been about bringing people together, having great people who are passionate about making content, passionate about potentially having a career, whether it's in journalism, hosting, whether it's a step on the ladder, or you just want to talk about this as a bit of fun with mates, as I know Mark said before and Benny said before as well. But ultimately, sometimes you come across someone every now and then when you do these things, and they take you away. And I remember from the very first moment that I spoke to Joe was this little Irish actor who was really excited about potentially coming on a Manchester United YouTube channel. But he said to me, he was like, look, not going to get anywhere if I don't have strings to my bow. And when Joe came onto this channel, he showed an interest in hosting. He'd done a few bits before, but he wanted to come on. He knew that I was a presenter and he wanted to learn, he wanted to get to know stuff. Me and Joe have worked so closely with each other, which is why some people are like, he's going to another United YouTube channel. Why are you so happy for him? I'm happy for him because he came from a year ago hosting his first show ever on All for United, getting a shitload of grief from me every week because I saw him as a little project to work with him on. He took all that on board. And if you watch all the shows that Joe's done, Joe is a fucking fantastic host. He screams passion. He's talented. He's funny. And he's just good at keeping control. Sometimes he can be brutal, but that is what we absolutely love about him because he's scarred from the handball by Thierry Henry and he loves Declan Rice. So that's going to hurt someone. That's going to fuck them up in some places. Yeah. But ultimately, Joe is now going on to, without mentioning the name, the biggest Manchester United YouTube channel because of the work he's done with us, because of the work we've done together. And I can't even say this enough. I'm so proud of him. And do you know what I'm also proud of is that sometimes I've been in a horrible headspace, and I know Joe suffered and he's been vocal about how he's struggled with some mental health problems over the years and over the past years especially. In January, I was in a shite place and I went to Joe, I really want to do this show, this Monday night and Friday night show. We just want to have a laugh, want to do something. Mate, it's some of the best stuff I've ever hosted. And I've truly from this got myself an Irish brother who I never thought I would ever have in my life. This guy, honestly, is incredible. And there's been times that my own shit has gone through the mill and people have let me down and I've gone to Joe, forget this, I don't want to do it anymore. And he has kept it going. All for United would have shut a couple of times last year if it wasn't for Joe. He was literally my left arm in so many different ways. I was going to say he's my right hand, but he's not that talented. It's why he's single. So ultimately, ultimately, look, man, the door is 100% always open. You're always going to be involved. You are a top guy. Look at how much you make everyone laugh on the show today, every stream, everything you do. Keep growing. You take this opportunity with both hands. Keep acting and pretending to be a Liverpool fan. You're surprisingly good at it.
I learned from Stu.
And mate, honestly, we are all so freaking proud of you, man. Keep it up. And look, and when Joe first took over Wall of Reds, because this was a project I was passionate about doing, Wall of Reds. Joe is the only person I've let host a show. Wall of Reds is going to stop now until Joe one day comes back. We're going to change up the content. We're going to do different things, and we'll announce that soon. But I don't want to make this about that. But ultimately, like what Joe's done, and to anchor a show with like 10 people on it sometimes is so difficult. Man, you've smashed it. Every show, the stuff you've done behind the scenes, which I can't make a list about, people watching probably don't even care. But mate, for me personally, thank you, because this has massively motivated me. Well done. Smash it over there. We are so going to take over your first live stream over there, chatting about Declan Rice and the Thierry Henry handballs. You better be freaking ready for that. Shout out to the guys over there for seeing in you exactly what everyone should be seeing in you, because, man, you really do deserve it. And if you never ever need anyone and you ever need anything, you know where we all are. So, mate, thank you, bro. Really appreciate everything you've done, man. You're an absolute legend. And by the way, stop wearing your fucking Panathinaikos t-shirts as well. Pretending they're Ireland.
Yes, man. Well said.
Right. Anyway, mate, that's enough soppiness. Enjoy the rest of the show. I'll let you crack on because I know Mark's itching to speak like he always is.
Thanks, Ben. Thank you.
All right, boys. Jesus. No, man, honestly, I love you. And give me a shout if you ever need anything. And
have you got that Tenerife on me?
I was going to say best of luck dating in Sweden, because if you can't fucking pull in Ireland, you ain't got no chance out there.
Yeah. No, oh, God.
Anyway, Boys, take it easy. I'll speak to you
Thank
later.
you, Ben.
Nice one,
See you
guys.
later,
Thank you, Joe,
Ben.
mate. Take it easy, guys. Bye, bye,
So
bye,
that's
bye.
it there.
He's broken you, Joe.
Fuck,
Yes.
yeah, like I genuinely can't do anything after that. I can't.
Mark, get on with it. Come on, buddy. You're gonna have to speak
maybe-
now. You can't speak.
Yeah, I'm just gonna focus on Mark. I need to pour another Guinness. That was Jesus
Maybe I
Christ,
can
my
try
soul
Joe.
is on fire.
Way too much cheese has been dished out. Please, for the love of God.
You're gonna have to download more than just Tinder, I think, ain't you?
Yeah.
What was I saying? Yeah, Daily Blind. Now, if I was to just hear me out a second, if I was to put the managers since Ferguson in order, David Moyes in fourth. I think he was a bit unfortunate, really, when you go from the heights of Sir Alex to someone that didn't do very well at all. He's always going to take that bottom spot. Jose Mourinho third. Obviously, he completely derailed everything. Was once a great manager, personally no longer is, and caused too much unrest. Van Gaal, not given enough credit, to be honest with you. Whilst he played abysmal football, he was the first manager to come in with a bit more of a philosophy. And if he was given a little bit more time, and actually the signings he wanted, I think you would have seen a little bit more from him and that United team eventually. And then Ollie firmly in first place. I just hope he gets his trophy next week.
Yeah, sounds.
That's it, mate.
Gonna go to Ben now. Same question, I guess. Who would you take, and how would you rank the managers?
First of all, I rank the managers first. Moisey, unfortunately, was at the bottom of the pile. Didn't happen for the poor lad, you know. Though I think he did try his best. He was just out of his depth, unfortunately. I'll have Van Gaal in third, Josie second, Ollie top, because as I've said all I'd say about Ollie earlier on, he's just brought that ethos back to Manchester United, that United way is coming back, you know, and all that he's doing in the background that people don't see every day, you know, he's getting there. He's getting there. He should be backed. Do you know what? I was thinking about it because I was going to say Daily Blind as well, but the more I thought about it, how good would a Memphis Depay be under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer?
Team right now, yeah.
I was thinking that now, just thinking, because he had a great understanding with Luke Shaw before, unfortunately, Luke Shaw had that horrific leg break. And I was just thinking, how good would a Memphis Depay be? Or Depay, sorry, I'm probably pronouncing his second name wrong as per usual. But how good would Memphis would have been under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and in the way that we play on the counter at times? The problem I always had with Memphis was I think he thought he was a superstar before he was really.
He had a great World Cup.
United. Yes, he did. Don't get me wrong, but I think he thought he was bigger than what he was at United. You know, especially when Luke sort of went through had that horrific injury. I think his work rate suffered a lot. But I certainly would love to have seen Memphis under Ollie, because I think Ollie might have got the best out of him. And certainly the Memphis that you've seen since he's departed from Manchester United, I believe it's Barcelona that are sniffing around him now. I could be wrong, could be Real Madrid. It's one of the two anyway.
I think it's a free transfer. That's why they are. I think so.
Yeah, it could be, but you know what I mean. He could have been a really good player at United. You know, I just think. Just thinking, if he had Ollie as his manager and someone that threw an arm over him and just gave him a little bit of extra belief, like he has done in Luke Shaw, like he has done in a couple of other players, you know, I think Memphis would have been a decent player under Ollie. I think we would have definitely seen the best out of him. But that's my take on it, because unfortunately Mark stole my thunder with Daily Blind. So, but I thought Memphis, you know.
I think Memphis. I think that's a very interesting show because he has done a lot of good things in France, which makes you to believe there is a player there. I don't know how much he would have gotten out of him. You know, I do agree with you that there could be something more there, but it's hard to know. But it's a great show, Ben. Ahmed, I'm coming to you with two ones here, and on the same thing. How good would Herrera be in the double pivot? I want to ask you, who would he play alongside in a double pivot? And Mkhitaryan. would he? How much of a player would he have been under Ollie? Do you think?
Ooh, when people ask me about past players, I tend to remember the good things. I don't really imagine them in the current system because I'm too used to McFred. But I think today under Herrera would be, I think, one of the most important players at the club. He would have probably played every game this season. Let's say, for example, at the end of last 2019 season, I genuinely believed he would have re-signed with Manchester United. I thought if Ollie gets him in that team to play how he wants him to play, in his favourite position, I don't think we'd be too worried about that area for a little while at least, because we'd get 2-3 good years out of him. He'd be great in a double pivot in this team. Who you play against? There are days where he's played well with Nemanja Matic in this team, but out of Fred and McTominay, I would probably go with McTominay because Herrera likes getting forward, but he knows how to sit deep as well. And being Spanish, they do pass the ball so well. So he has that in him. And I think he would have played a brilliant role being that deep line midfielder for United in that team. As for Mkhitaryan, I love the guy. Top scorer in the Europa League season. The last time he won the competition, scored in the final. He would have been, I think, one of the best players to have in our attacking third. He played across the front four. He was fantastic in the centre against Tottenham as well when he scored the goal and played a blind that day. I always enjoyed him out on the right. It's like he's not a natural right-sided midfielder, but when he drifts out there, he starts to take the fullbacks on and give the defenses something to think about. Mourinho just never saw that in him, and I thought if Ollie had that with him today, I don't think we would have too much complaints about it. But frankly, I think whatever Ollie decided in the end, he chose to, let Herrera go, and Mkhitaryan left before he even took the job. But I think we would have been better served with those two.
I'm going to skip Stu for a second because I want to come back to you with more specific questions, Stu. But I'm going to come to you on Andy, for yourself. There's Kagawa under Ollie. I think, who said that? Ugly Bear said that. That is a very interesting shout. Because I think Kagawa, I don't think we ever saw the best from him here. Highly rated in Germany. I think he's still in Germany now. Do you feel
he's in Serbia now, actually. He's won the league there, if I'm not mistaken.
Serbia?
Yeah, I think so. No, in Greece. He won the cup yesterday. My bad. He's playing for PAOK now.
Ahmed, you made a fool out of yourself, but you crawled it out there.
I had to make sure they both wear the same colours.
Do you think that maybe Kagawa would have been someone that Ollie really would have thrived in Ollie?
I think he could have. I mean, Kagawa, if I remember his position, I think it was like behind the front two, so a bit like what Bruno was playing out, or even like with Van der Beek. So I just think you could have the Kagawa getting in those pockets of spaces, finding his teammates, playing the balls into them, and then setting them up for the goals. But I think he could have thrived under Ollie. But whether it's like with Van der Beek as well. It remains to be seen whether next season we'll see. Well, hopefully we'll see the best of him. So, but in terms of other players, I would pick Zlatan. I just think his short stint at United will always go down as a what if. I mean, he had the instant impact when in his first season, he led us to the League Cup and the Europa League trophy before he had that bad ACL injury. And I mean, he scored, 28 goals in 46 games. And I don't think that record has been surpassed in any season since. So I just felt maybe when he was recovering from that injury, I think we maybe gave up on him too easily and we allowed him to leave. And obviously we had Lukaku as well, but his first season there towards the end, he was injured and missed the FA Cup final. So not having Zlatan around then, he could have been pivotal for us. And I mean, yes, he did go to LA Galaxy, and everybody thought, he was going into semi-retirement, but now he's come back to AC Milan, and he's just been reborn again. So Zlatan's still proving at any age he can still do it.
Yeah, but I would say that the Serie A is the MLS of Europe.
Yeah.
But I think get your point.
Yeah.
But Stu, touching back, and you can mention a player you would like to have now as well, of course. But this is kind of to go to Kai and go to Hama as well. We seem to have not made a manager appointed a manager at the right time. Sorry, the wrong manager at the wrong time constantly. Okay, with Moyes, with Van Gaal, with Jose, it would just never fit. Who do you feel? If you could interject at one time and say, put this manager here that you feel we could have got, who would you have gone with? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Do you know something? When you follow an institution, which Moyes had to, he had to follow an institution. It was not impossible. It was a poison chalice. And look, whatever the rights and wrongs about Moyes' appointment, he did an amazing job at Everton and Preston before it, but certainly Everton, where he was pretty much working on a shoestring budget, and he made them into quite a formidable outfit. His style of football was always boring, but I think Moyes probably should get a little bit more credit than what he's given. He's almost a forgotten manager, really, because of what happened to him. Our appointment of Mourinho was 10 years too late. And as for Van Gaal, I've never been a fan of his style of football. I always thought with Van Gaal and Mourinho in particular, it was all about them and not about the club. And so when you look at the raft of managers that are out there and that are out there, or were out there at the time, I suppose the only one that I think would have kind of fit our kind of way of playing would have been Allegri back when he was with Juventus, because I thought he was a really good, solid coach with good foundations, and had a style of playing that was probably conducive at the time of where Manchester United was. But that was never the case anyway. And we were never really linked with him. Fergie pinned his mask to Moyes. So I just think Moyes should get a bit more credit, really. In terms of players, for me, and I know people don't like him, it would be Di Maria. He was an outstanding footballer at the time, of whatever the reason for him leaving Real Madrid was. I'm not really quite sure, but I think Di Maria would offer us a real impetus in games, a real, ball carrier, but he's got the skill, the pace, the initiative, the intelligence, the accuracy, and he can score a goal. And I think he would have been absolutely brilliant for us, Di Maria, if for whatever reason he could have stuck around. So we didn't get the best out of Di Maria for me. And so,
I think it's interesting on the Moyes thing as well. I want to touch on that because I know Mark has a comment he wants to make, and then we'll come to the last two guys in the same question. But Fergie was a huge, and again, this is more of a throwback. Fergie was a huge fan of Moyes from, he offered him the job, assistant manager job, I think in 1999, which he turned down to manage Preston.
Correct.
Do you feel that if that had happened, I know, look, it's sliding doors, who knows? But do you feel that things might have worked out differently if he had actually taken the assistant management job back at the turn of the century?
Well, yeah, undoubtedly, because you're learning from, probably the greatest manager of all time, aren't you?
Definitely the greatest manager.
But when you consider football management, just look at what's happening to Arsenal right now. Wenger was there for 22 years, 23 years, and they're going through a very similar cycle to what we have experienced post Fergie. So it's always difficult when you're following an institution. I think all Ollie's trying to do, and Moyes' biggest mistake was, and we've spoken about this before, and it's been spoken about in the press, that he maybe should have surrounded himself with club people rather than bringing in his own backroom staff. He didn't really understand the club, and if he'd maybe kept, I don't know, feeling around, or I can't remember who was there at the time with Fergie at the end. But if you get the coaches around, Mullenstein, that's it. If you get the coaches around then maybe it could have turned out differently. But look, hindsight's a wonderful thing anyway, isn't it? Everybody looks at it. But when you look at where Moyes is today, it took him a long time to actually get over the shock of what happened at Manchester United. It almost destroyed him as a person, as a football coach. And he's starting to show potentially with West Ham, which is a way, way poorer squad than he had at Manchester United.
Nearly relegated, you know?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
When you consider what he's doing now, I think they finished sixth, didn't they, overall? Remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. And so I don't know whether you're seeing a snapshot of what Moyes could have been at Manchester United. I don't know. We'll never, ever know.
Yeah.
We'll never know. So.
Absolutely. Mark, you have a comment to make, and then we'll go to Kai and Hama and their thoughts on sliding doors, if they could have got someone in at the right time to manage United. But Mark, you have someone that you were screaming for United to hire instead of Moyes.
Yeah, when Ferguson stepped down, I was absolutely desperate for United to get Ancelotti in. He has huge credentials. I think that he probably is too big for a club like Everton. If you think about what he did at Chelsea at the time, didn't they have a transfer ban back then as well? I think he was phenomenal at AC, and I would absolutely loved him to come in as Fergie's replacement.
Yeah, that's a good shout. But coming down to Kai, coming down to Hama, and also you can name the player. Sorry, to touch on the other one, you can name the player you would have liked United to have, like the scene under Ollie that we had post Fergie but pre Ollie. So Kai, I'll go to you first.
First, I'd just like to, since it's all serious here, I just want to ask Hama if we pulled up at a party, do you say that you've pulled a hammy? I don't know.
Kai, you have just altered the energy post Ben's mic drop, basically. So that is spectacular, Kai. I don't think there's ever been a better place joke at a better time. Thank you for that one. Thank you. And answer the question, Hama. Have you ever pulled a hammer?
I mean, I used to get shit faced like that, but I don't really do that anymore.
Now tell me, sorry, I'm going to interrupt. Now, if when you're, we'll say when you get with, the sex that you're interested in, do you say, well, you just pulled a hammer?
No.
Well, you're going to. It's hammer time. Oh, come on.
Listen, I don't say any shit like that, okay?
Okay.
That type of shit would not work out right.
Yeah, well, look, if you're saying it in the moment, everything's fine. Anyway, Kai, the genius, on the question we asked.
What was the question again? About
if you could bring in any manager at any time, and also if you could have a manager if you could have a player from prior to Ollie's.
Player, I have to agree with Stu. I was gonna say Di Maria, simply because I think Ole would have been able to deal with him a little bit better, and also because he's actually what we need. I mean, some of his performances in the Champions League have been utterly ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, in terms of managers, yeah, just a little bit of a comment, like on someone like LVG. I mean, what I find is, I think LVG came to United and he said, okay, here's my philosophy. Jose did kind of the same thing. He also said, here's my philosophy. Moyes kind of said, shit, what is the philosophy? And kind of Ole is like, look, I know the philosophy, here it is, let's go. So and I think that's, like Stu was saying, when you follow an institution, it's literally, you've got to get it. And I think all the managers, even what's his name, Jose and LVG and all of them, I don't know if they had a lot of people that were around at United at that time anyways as well. So maybe they could have done with trying to, get that ghost back in. But I guess the egos which say I'm a great manager, therefore it must work here. I think it's clearly been proven throughout history at United that it just doesn't work like that. And I mean, look, LVG also had Young playing at number 9. Like, he had Paddy McNair. You guys are letting LVG go. Paddy McNair was starting games. Serious games for Manchester United. Tyler Blackett, Cameron Roderick Jackson, or George, whatever. They were starting real games for United. I'm sorry. I'm not having LVG. I'm not having it. But anyways, youth. Yes, it's youth. It's youth. But yeah, my player would be Di Maria, definitely. And yeah.
Cool. And Hannah, to see us out for yourself. And also Fred with another wonderful comment. Zaha would have been good under Ollie, and he absolutely would have.
He would have, yeah.
So both my answers got taken earlier. It would have been Herrera or Daley Blind. And the only reason I wouldn't go, like you could say that, and it is true talent-wise, right? Not Daley Blind. Di Maria would be a better talent to add to the team. But for what the team needs, I think Blind or Herrera would be more important to this team. And 2, between Di Maria and also just talking about like coaches that you guys, the other one was a coach you would have liked to have instead. I think one of the issues with that is that you're looking back, right, and saying, oh, this could have been, or that could have happened. And what the issue with that is, as we've seen with United, both from players and coaches, is that a lot of people can't handle what United expectations are and what the fans want and what the club is supposed to be. So what as talented as Di Maria is, I think the reason he didn't work is because of his mental. He couldn't handle the pressure of playing against F4 United. So yeah.
Okay. Well, that's...
yes, I know he played for Real Madrid. I'm just saying, like,
and PSG.
Look, Juan Sebastian Veron's a great example of a highly talented international midfielder, and he struggled at Old Trafford, and he was, in his Inter Milan days, he was outstanding. Argentina international, outstanding player. Couldn't hack it at the club, so. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with your point, Hammy. Your point's well made, and I agree.
But I think, guys, we're going to have to call it there.
Oh no, Joe's leaving us.
Yeah, I'm gonna focus in on me just for a moment. Okay.
Well, just before you do, mate, let me let all joking apart from the very, very, very beginning.
Yeah, I got my.
I've not been with All for United that long. And I think you and Mark were on my very first show. And, push Mark aside now because he's a good lad and he knows what I think of him.
I'll kick him from...
I've made a friend, mate, to be honest. You welcomed me. And I think you kind of got me straight away. I don't sit on the fence. I say what I think. And whether I upset people or not, or whether people agree with me, it is what it is. But I think you've always treated me fairly, and you made me feel welcome. But more importantly, you got me. So I appreciate that, mate, and I wish you all the very best.
Thanks so much.
Friend, before you do go into it, George, I just want to say, mate, you're a top lad. I've always got time for you. Just make sure you stay in touch, please. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say. You're a good lad. We love you, really, despite all the mick you taken earlier. We do love you.
As long as you give my mickey back, it's fine.
Yeah. I know you were running real over and you want to close. I just want to talk about both you as the hosts and all the hosts are on here and the show overall. When I discovered you guys, I was gonna just keep in the comments, and just watch the shows and stuff. But between the hosts and all the guys you were bringing on, I really ended up just really badly wanted to join. So, thank you guys so much for allowing me to join and start talking about United. And then just at the very end to mention something that Ben said, I think this channel, overall, the hosts, the guests, everybody, the community has done an insanely great thing for the mental health of a lot of people that have been watching the show from the jump. So,
yeah, absolutely. I'm just going to say a few things. Look, I have, so like I no experience with doing hosts or anything prior to this. I've done a few bits, but nothing like this. And And when I came on as a contributor, which when Ben got on to me, I was absolutely delighted. And then I approached him about hosting, and he gave me this position. I worked up, and it's been one of the most amazing experiences of my entire life. It's given me a chance to talk about Man United, but like that has been second to just making friends. It doesn't make sense to me how I can feel so close to so many people without ever having physically been in the same room as them. But that's just the modern world, I guess. Working with Mark, working with Temi, working with Kartik, Connor, Jonathan, as just as host and getting things done has been sublime, and I've learned so much and had such a wonderful time. And working with everyone that's here right now, Ben, and Andy, Stu, Ahmed, Kai, Mark again, Hama, absolutely amazing. Every single time, because you're, well, Ahmed, you're new, but you've been constantly here as being new. It's just none of this makes sense to me. I don't get it. I don't get how it can feel like this when I only know people through screens. For everyone that's kind of constantly in the comments, for Fred, Jarvis, Jacob, Commode, what's his name? Commode, John Commode, Ugly Bear, Stuart O'Hara, even though you're Nordy. It's thank you so much. It's been the absolute thrill of a lifetime to be here over the past year, over the past season, talking about United and making friends that will last beyond forever. So and look, absolutely finally, Ben Pearce, I don't have words to describe how much of a wonderful man that guy is, and how much he taught me, and how much he cares so deeply about this channel, about making it the best place you can possibly see, but where you need to come to talk about United. And James Ridge as well. Sorry, I just realized I didn't mention him, but he's not on the same level as Ben. Sorry, I'm not putting James Ridge and Ben on the same level. So don't get a big head, James. All right, this Ben is top. Okay. Yeah. So from me to you guys, I can only just say thank you. As Ben touched upon there, I struggled very badly with mental health issues, and being on this channel has saved my life on many occasions. And people in the channel, people here, people everywhere have done it. So so thank you all for United for over this lockdown literally saving my life. So thank you for that. And yeah, sound. Ireland will eventually beat Luxembourg. Okay, and once Ireland beat Luxembourg, I will be back on this channel. Okay. And Jacob, my favorite comment. I've hated every minute of Joe. Thank you, Jacob. He did follow that up with the wing face. Jacob, thank you so much. And absolutely, Jacob, take as much credit as you want. But yeah, and Stuart, thanks so much. I will see you in I'll see you in Belfast eventually. I still haven't been up there. But that's me. That's us. That's all for United. When I see you guys next time, we will be at least a European trophy heavier. Okay.
Yes.
So thanks so much, guys. All the love, and yeah, thank you.
Thank you.